It's your girl Candy K. Lynn,
And your boy Shout Time Shout.
and it's time to
Pull up
here on Pull Up the Podcast. We talk sports, news, and
news. Hip hop. We give you the facts.
we don't talk about people.
We give you the facts.
We just cover the headlines. Mr. Shaw, listen, good friends and fam of Pull Up the Podcast. I want to do several things before we get started today, Mr. Shaw. First, I want to acknowledge that it is 5 years that I've been doing this podcasting thing. Five. Five. So anybody who happens to come across the show, I need some sponsors. Come give your girl some money. I'm pretty good at this thing here. So I did. I saw that I did. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just trying to do something. I released my first show back on March 29, 2017. A memory came up. So I'm really thankful for everybody who started with us, Trap House South, who came on over to Pull Up the Podcast. And I really appreciate everybody who's ever clicked and taken a moment to listen or left a comment. So I just wanted to say to the fam, Pull Up family, we appreciate you. I really do. Kind of special. Kind of special that, started at DFWI Radio. Hopefully we'll get back on radio really, really soon. Looking into those avenues, but just thank you guys for rocking with me because some of y'all been rocking consistently. And if you missed those original Trap House South shows, you can find them on SoundCloud and you can find them on iTunes. So those are separate because, of course, I didn't know how to crisscross them all. And after 100 shows, yeah, I don't know what to tell
Yeah,
you.
your own personality. You know what I'm saying? So they all your shows have different personalities. So
They do.
you push them. You push from different platforms at that point.
Yeah, they do. So I appreciate you guys. Whoever's been rocking with Situationship Talk, we're coming up on a year. So, Mr. Shaw, I just wanted to thank the people. It kind of made me emotional to think that when we start stuff, people sometimes aren't listening. They don't see it. But what really matters is you staying consistent and doing what it is that's in your heart and what you're passionate about. And I think
Nah,
that's
fact.
where we see longevity and consistency. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what I had to say about that. Now, Mr. Shaw, I don't know about up there, but it was hot today.
It was very hot today.
It was hot. My hair is still stuck to the back of my neck. And then the devil has tried to dance in my circle today. My
Mm-hmm.
air wasn't working. I went to go
Mm.
get pizza for my kids. And I mean, not blowing, the joker not turning on. The
Nah,
air,
yeah.
the heat. I'm like, this ain't Freon. This ain't even a compressor at this time. Like,
Cause it's gonna be a hot summer, man. So if you don't have air, I feel for you. Okay, you need to. You can't be. You gonna be. You the person that nobody want to be around this summer because you're gonna be mad. All right, you never gonna want to drive nowhere because anybody gonna want to ride with you. You don't got air, do you? Nah, nobody
well,
going
see,
nowhere with you.
so the air had gone out. Like something had happened a while back, and I had taken the car to the dealership. They told me it was going to take them 3 days before they could even look at the car. This was like a Thursday going into the weekend. Who got 3 days that they don't need their car?
Say that.
So my schedule hasn't even permitted for it. It was working like it was working fine yesterday, and so it
Mm-hmm.
had like started making noise, and then it had stopped, and the heat was working. Everything was fine yesterday. So I'm like, okay, tomorrow I'm gonna take the car to the dealership. I'm gonna see how long it take them, you know. But I ain't gonna be able to do it.
Nah,
In the
I
words of my
couldn't.
pops, I ain't gonna be able to do it, player.
But nah, no way. It's too hot. It's too
Yeah.
hot. Mm-mm.
So yeah, that was my you know, those are my highs. As I tell the kids when I'm teaching, what is your high? What is your low? Overall, my day has been at about a 7 because the air didn't work. And my hair, I got to get this hair out my head because it was stuck to the back of my neck. And I ain't here for it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It was so hot today, it made me think about fading my hair. I was like, where the clippers at? Like,
Nah, it's for sure hot
let me
today.
go ahead. Let me go ahead and get this hair off my neck and get back to normalcy. So that's what I got. Little funny, little good to start the day.
It was rainy last night and hot this afternoon. God darn it.
And it was like Houston humidity hot. It wasn't, and I woke up this morning, I'm like, I straightened my hair out. I don't know if y'all can say it was like a little. By the time I got to the garage, it was already poofy. I'm like, oh, this is Houston humidity. Like, when you used to have to take a bath twice this time of the year in the spring because you stink. You're dirty. Your clothes are stuck to your body. Like, it was one of those days. So everybody who's moving their butts to Texas, welcome to Texas. It was 94 degrees today. So welcome to Texas. So, Mr. Shaw, to get into it, we're going to run these sports. Last night, we got a thriller.
As long as UNC ain't win, I ain't tripping.
You said as long as what?
UNC ain't win, I wasn't tripping.
You must have had some money on Kansas.
Nah, not even that. I told you I'm not in the betting. I bet when my money up. I'm able to do certain things. I don't spend money when I ain't there. God ain't permitting me to have it right now. So, but once it come back, I will be back on it. Now, I know too many people who North Carolina fans, and I had already bro, we beat both of them teams by 20. So my mindset had already been like, well, Kentucky, y'all let us down because teams in the national championship, we ran at home. Like, we beat both of those teams at they spot by a dub. So, I'm happy for Kansas be itself. They just, Hubert Davis, you deserve that. You didn't have the best season, but you had a great season because you finished in the Final Four. You beat Coach K twice this season in his last season. So
you made history.
Yeah, North Carolina in your first season. So North Carolina, they just showed that they will be good as long as Hubert Davis is there. In his first year, he took a team that was not what they're accustomed to and still made the Final Four.
And
so
they old. He had, I mean, and I think that's what played the biggest part down the stretch for them was veteran leadership. This kid Love, maybe he had a bad showing last night.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't impressed. And then when Babcock went down, I told him, I said that because he was the second person that went down. I said, there's something wrong with the floor. Because I was like, the floor is wet. He's like, nah, they just rolled ankle. I'm like, nah. Today he sends me a text message on Twitter that the floor wasn't leveled.
Yeah.
So those two plays at the end, and you don't want things to ever get that close, right? You don't give up a 15-point lead coming out of halftime. And that's what they did. Kansas came out. They were aggressive. They were hungry. They knew they had to cut into that deficit. And what they did was they slowly chipped away at it, applying pressure. I think everybody is so Steph Curry-ish mindset that they want to let that three ball go. One night you may hit 16, but if you're 0 for 5 coming out and you're cutting into your 15-point lead, at some point you have to alter. You have to run the offense. Get the ball into your big.
Sports.
And that's what it is. And Kansas was in foul trouble. Kansas big was in foul trouble in the first half. So you had an opportunity to get the ball inside to your big, to work the middle, to make them commit to picking up the ball before you committed to a three-pointer. And I think that's what I'm hating about college basketball. And I hate it about the NBA as well, because I think a lot of times we're watching people shoot themselves right out of the game.
You don't realize that, though. You don't realize that. And again, like you say, it's kind of still foul because people have fell in love with three, when in essence, a two, a mid-range jumper. Nobody has a mid-range jumper. And the crazy thing is, Steph actually has a mid-range jumper. Steph got all around game. But players don't have mid-range jumpers no more. A mid-range jumper makes the game a whole lot easier. If they run the zone and somebody can come into the paint and hit a mid-range jumper, that disrupts a whole zone, right?
Or short corners. Short corner. I never see short corners. I never see backdoor movement. I never see the guards, in order to do what Steph Curry does, you have to be able to move without the ball. And that's what I'm saying.
On the court.
Yes. And so that movement on the court creates confusion. It also forces the other team to be in top tier shape, because especially as a guard, you're fighting to get open. You're fighting to get open. You're fighting to create a shot and an opportunity. So if you at least work the baseline, that backdoor cut is open because you free. Like, especially when your post moves up high, when your posts are playing high they're playing high, you have that backdoor opportunity. I see guards standing there. They're standing at the 3-point line. And that's what Duke did. I mean, Kansas did. Kansas came out and put pressure on the guards.
Mm-hmm.
You can't shoot a three. You're not moving without the ball. And I feel like they're always trying to force something. There are shots and times where your big is in position, and North Carolina's back had 21 rebounds against Duke the other night. 21. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna shoot it and take my chances that 7 out of 10 times my big gonna get the rebound for me.
And which is smart when you have a good big. But like you say, these kids, they so be the hero. Team play, what is not coached. Let me take that back, because I'm not on the AAU circuit. I'm not in to high school sports that way. So I can't say what's not being coached once they get to college. I'm not going to do coaches like that saying kids aren't being properly coached. It's disrespectful.
But I think it's a mindset. It's a mindset. It's not about coaching. If you've already developed a selfish mindset.
True.
Think about how hard a coach like Hubert Davis has to work in one season to undo everything that you've done on the AAU circuit since you were 10.
True. And again, I still don't want, again, selfish, like you said, right? Selfish, like it might be a selfish athlete. So again, that's the one thing with coaching, and the most beautiful thing is the transfer portal. We got Oscar Sheway, like, if nobody knows, Oscar Sheway he won every award. He was most outstanding player of the year. He averaged 17 and 15. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, and we got him. We've only had him a year. He came in the middle of the year last year. He said he learned he might go to the NBA draft. For my critique of him, again, I'm not a scout, I don't know nothing, but he doesn't have. He doesn't have NBA game for a big. Like, yeah, he's him being able to rebound the ball. You can put him on the court. He's going to rebound the ball. But as far as NBA moves, and I don't think he has that yet. But they say he's going to be a top 10 pick by Oscar. Like, I'm used to.
This is a weak draft class, though. This is and this is nothing. And when I say these things, right, I think that sometimes, like, this is nothing against these young players, right? Because I heard Mike out of TCU is headed is declaring for the draft as well. So this, and I think it's great for Mike because we've seen that kid from young evolve and become a big deal there at TCU. Mm-hmm. I just think that as we're watching these games, I'll remember last night's game because it was Hubert Davis' first day in North Carolina, and they blew a 15-point lead. Mm-hmm. It wasn't the greatest national championship I've ever seen.
I mean, the tournament was amazing.
The tournament was very competitive. It was very close, and it kept you on the edge of your seats. But it's not going to be what I remember for a lifetime. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I've been so busy these past 2, maybe 3 years that I didn't watch the whole season by far. So I can't tell you how strong the draft class is going to be. So I can't argue with you there. I can't even attempt to argue with you there, right? Because again, if we just go Kentucky,
well, just think about what we saw last night. I'm
gonna just go from.
Think about what we saw last night.
We don't have any. Oscar Sheway might be the only draft pick we have. Like, if Tata Washington go, you get you a good player. But after that, Davion Mintz, he's a good. But
and who from last night? Who from last night do you take if you got a first round pick?
I don't. It's needs. Needs. You might fit.
But who do you take? Again, who did you see that impressed you enough?
Those are 2 teams that I already seen this season. So it's not that they didn't impress me. It's just that, and then the level of players that come from those schools, they really never quality in the NBA. UNC and Kansas. UNC ain't had a quality NBA player in years. So, we got to go from that standpoint. Joel Embiid is the last quality. Joel Embiid, Andrew Wiggins are the only. Kelly Oubre, okay. Other than that, Kansas don't produce. Duke had a roster full of players that are gonna be in the NBA. Like, they had a roster full of players that's gonna be in the NBA. That's why I say I can't say the draft class too bad. But those 2 teams didn't have. They didn't have. Nobody on those rosters were the NBA draft, top 10, top 50. They weren't nobody on those teams. They were just good college basketball players,
And
which
I
is not
agree.
a bad thing.
And they're Christian Laettner has been regarded as the greatest college basketball player of all times. And I
He
salute to
played
them.
4 seasons. It might be true. It might be true.
I salute them because those young men, 66 games in a season, that's a lot. So I salute them for what they were able to do. But congratulations to Kansas. I'll never root for them. Congratulations to those young men on winning a national championship. On the women's side, for those of you who are not aware, Dawn Staley won her second national championship. So congratulations to Dawn Staley and the Gamecocks. That is important because Dawn Staley is becoming the face of women's college basketball. She gave Gino his first loss in a national championship. He was 11-0 until the other night. So UConn basketball has changed dramatically in the last 5 years.
No. Women's college basketball.
No. But the makeup of who Gino recruits has changed.
He got to stay competitive at this point.
Exactly.
And Staley get what she wants too.
Oh, she's gonna get, and after winning again, she's going to continue to get whoever she wants. Yeah. Because even though it's going to South Carolina, you're playing for Dawn Staley. And for African American young ladies, what better way to be molded and prepared?
And she's gonna make sure that you're attractive on the court. Like, I believe she got a whole beauty school and shit. She probably got Rihanna and them coming in teaching bitches and shit. Because I'm just convinced, like, those girls didn't look like, even when Candace Parker was in college, she didn't look like that. Maya Moore, Diana Taurasi, like, they didn't look like that. These women look like college girls who's going to party. Right?
Not all of them.
Go look at South Carolina roster. They don't be looking like Booger Wolf said. What Don Armour said, never headed H words. They don't
listen. We're in a different generation. We're in a different generation. Most girls, unless they,
if we go down rosters right now,
most people are learning how to do their hair. Okay, so and what Don Amos didn't understand is it's hard to get your hair done. Let's start in Austin, Texas. Okay, it's hard to be a young African American woman to get your hair done here. It's hard.
I want everybody to understand. I'm not nowhere near defending Don. I want to be clear. I'm talking about the women who are good that play for South Carolina. I'm not saying the rest of the women on the rest of the teams across the NCAA women's basketball programs.
But I don't even want you to say that because it sounds predatory. I'm on this predatory behavior thing right now.
They over 18. It's not.
Yeah, I don't even think
there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with men speaking on attractive women. That's what I'm saying. I'm not speaking body parts or nothing.
I got it. I just still think, they're kids.
If somebody, they're not kids. They're grown women.
They're kids.
They're grown women. Nobody finna play with me. They're grown women. They're over 18. They're grown women. They're grown women. I'm not shooting my shot because I believe you need to be over 21 for me to shoot mine.
21. Your child gonna be as old as her.
My child ain't even 2 yet. My child not even 2. Well, like I said, 25. There's nothing wrong.
As your age moves up, your age limit should move up.
I said have conversation. No, 21. 21 is legal.
21 is a little slow.
20. We know what we're dealing with. Some of them be slow at 32. Okay, these women ain't wrapped too tight. And you wanna know why they not wrapped too tight? Because they had mamas like Tata P.
Anyway, so listen, my brain don't even register.
Mocha and caffeinated. What's their name?
My mind don't even register them names that you're referring to.
Mocha and chocolate. What was their name?
Let's talk about Channing Crowder.
We can talk about Channing Crowder, but again, let me say it again. These women in the generation that up until that age have been raised by them. So remember what we're dealing with. Okay, now you just think because you had a mama that could think. A lot of these women didn't have mamas that could think. Channing Crowder went to Florida. He was decent. He was really, he was that guy in Florida.
Okay, but we're not even talking about him being that guy. We're talking about the comments that he made regarding Russell Wilson.
That's how a lot of people feel about Russ. That's how most black men feel about Russ.
But why?
I can't tell you why I don't feel that way about Russ. I knew Russ before he went to Wisconsin when he played for North Carolina State. I've been a Russ fan. You know what I'm saying? So You know what I'm saying? Like I don't feel like nothing wrong with Russ. So, but I'm telling you from the opinion of most men, Russ a sucker because he waited on the vagina, such and such with Sierra. I just felt like she destroyed his football career.
How?
They ain't been in the playoffs since he got with him. Let me take it back. He hasn't won a playoff game since he got with him.
That sounds more like the organization that he just removed himself from.
But that organization's winning championships. Make it make sense.
But he left that organization. He went to Denver willingly. So obviously,
but he hadn't won a playoff game since she came to his life.
So we're blaming. So we're always blaming women.
The organization carried him his first championship. Let's be clear.
We're always blaming women
No.
for
Let's be
a
clear.
male's lack of performance.
Russ' first championship, was he Russ?
But can Russ win a Super Bowl by himself? No, he wasn't Russ. He was. Every quarterback takes time.
So listen to what you said. No. So listen to what you said. You said you blame.
You're getting off topic. You're getting off topic. You've turned this into Russell's football career, and you've made it. You placed the blame on his wife for him not winning a playoff game.
I didn't place the blame on her. I said he hasn't won. See, it's crazy when you give facts. People say you place blame. I gave you facts. That's not placing blame. I gave you facts.
So what's wrong with the rest of the team? Well, I mean, what is wrong with the entire rest of the team? What's their excuse? It's all his fault. He's the quarterback, the GM, the offensive line, the wide receivers. It's his fault.
That Prescott didn't come through, you know what he was called in the locker room? Black Kirk Cousins. Now, since we're talking about not athlete, we're not talking about sports-wise, we're talking about Russell Wilson. All I'm telling you is we're talking about Russell Wilson Sierra. That's why I said he hasn't won a playoff game since he got with her. Because I'm still on topic. All right. And I'm not blaming Sierra for Russell Wilson's struggles. All I'm telling you is he got what hasn't won a playoff game. Men feel like Russell Wilson is lame because he waited to get the vagina from Sierra, not me. I feel like Russ is Russ. Russ cold-blooded and cool.
I feel like, and here's my thing, right? Here's the thing that's so funny to me about men. What has Channing Crowder done for his wife? And you funny looking. I said what I said. I said what I said. So Russell Wilson, she was with somebody like Future. She had a baby with Future, right? And I think most women that understand that they're part of the problem and they move away, I'm sure she is grateful for her son. The best thing that happened in her relationship was Lil Future, right? Mm-hmm. She got an extension. They couldn't stay together for whatever reasons. He seems to be for the streets, while we always talking about people for the streets. Future is for the streets. Okay.
And nobody
first, last, middle name. But I'm just saying, we like to. I see Jada always for the streets. Future for the streets.
So
Sierra and Future couldn't stay together. What'd you say?
Is Future supposed to act like a lady?
It's not acting like a lady. You don't have to be for the streets. There are a lot of men that are thotty.
You said Jada.
There are men who are for the streets.
You said Jada for the streets. Jada in love with a man that's not here no more.
Is Jada even any more for the streets than
First of all, let me stop talking about. Let me not say nothing.
Because he didn't already talk about to keep his wife's name out of his mouth.
We could, and that's what I was saying. But we compare a man who was known to be for the streets, and then so what happened to women being women? My grandmother was a lady. My grandmother would have never stooped to the level.
Who said that? But who came up with the idea that a lady was supposed to be a lady? Who said that?
My grandma said you weren't supposed to wear jeans. Your skirt wasn't supposed to go. Your skirt was supposed to touch your ankles. I'm telling you what my grandma would have done. Okay, I can't speak on nobody else's grandma. I can only talk to you about what I've seen.
Listen.
Okay.
Listen.
My grandma wouldn't do what Jada Pinkett do. That's all I'm saying. Nothing against Jada Pinkett Smith. Nothing against
the moral of the story.
I'm speaking on what I know.
The moral of the story is we label a woman who has an entanglement with a man that her man seems to know about for the streets. We know that Future is for the streets. Future is fine with being for the streets. He don't seem to be bothered. But Russell Wilson is a simp because he's not for the streets. His wife is not demonstrating behavior that we are aware of that's for the streets. They have 2 beautiful kids together. Plus, he's embraced her son and takes him in as his own. They do community service together. He bought her catalog. They've launched their businesses together. They both seem to be elevating forward. And I thought that was the purpose of companionship, is that everybody moves forward chasing their dreams,
I don't
respectively.
have no complaint with Russ.
So he's a
I don't have
sucker.
nothing to say. I don't have nothing to say. I don't feel like Russ is sucker. I feel like I felt I didn't think she was in love with that man. But it seems as though she is. So, I wish them nothing but the best. Russell Wilson a good dude, bro. Anybody who got a problem with Russell Wilson just not a genuinely good dude.
And that's
Like
most people.
Russell
Most
Wilson
dudes ain't good dudes.
for me, Russell Wilson is somebody that you should strive to be like. Like
Just try to be decent. Just
like
sometimes.
Russ out here not cheating. Like, bro, truth be told, as a man, if you take care of everything else and you be honest with a woman, like try your best not to cheat. I feel like she'll work it out with you if you doing everything else, you being honest with her. But Russell Wilson just a different man, right? Like he was so in love with Sierra, he left his first wife, and he's been a great man to her. I don't have nothing bad. I don't have nothing to say about this. I don't have nothing to say. I don't think Russell Wilson a sucker. I like Russell. You know what I'm saying? I never thought Russell was a sucker. I thought Russell was a sucker for Sierra. Let me be clear. Never thought Russell was a sucker. Thought Russell was a sucker for Sierra. And you know what? That's okay. Sometimes when you in love with a woman, you supposed no. Take that back. When
And
you
most
love a
men are
woman,
suckers for women that's for the streets. So when these
so
men are out here talking, like, sir, all that I'm saying at the end of the day, these conversations on both sides that have been had on the internet in the last 2 weeks are actually pretty comical to me at this point, because I don't know if people want decent people or people want people for the street. Or when it's convenient, you could be for the street. When it's inconvenient, you can't be for the street. Certain people. And oh, by the way, if you decent, you a sucker. So everybody who tries to live their life right, decent, show affection, because he can openly communicate his love and affection for his wife publicly. He's willing to show her
you know
off,
what? As a
have her
man, I
there.
just caught it. I know why men think he a sucker. I know why. They think he a sucker because if other women see Sierra getting treated like that, they gonna start demanding that standard. Now you gotta start living to that standard.
But hey, I just want these other dudes out here calling people the suckers to know there are a lot of guys who behave in that manner. There are a lot of men who love their wives,
Not a
who
lot of rich men.
who
It's
respect
not a
their
lot of
wives.
1% men that move like Russell Wilson. It's a good thing though.
But you don't even
It
have to
shows
be in the one
anybody.
percent. You don't have to be in the 1%. Do you know? I'm
Well,
in
cheating.
luxury.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Cheating is not for us broke men. We can't afford it, right?
But broke
Cheating
men
is
are
a
the
rich
ones
nigga,
who cheat all the time.
and cheating is a rich nigga sport. Okay, cheating is a sport. You trying to make sure it's like robbing the bank. You're trying to make sure you don't get caught, and if you do get caught, you got to make sure you give a. You know what I'm saying? Like cheating is a sport. Broke niggas can't afford it, bro. You cannot afford to get caught cheating.
But
That's why I feel like
it's bigger than cheating, and I think that men need to understand
you
it's
think so.
bigger. It's absolutely it's absolute. See, here's the thing about being decent. When you're being decent, you don't have time to cheat because you're trying to perfect yourself. And as we work on ourselves, we don't have a lot. As we're searching and trying to strive to reach our goals, we ain't got a lot of time for foolishness.
Excuse me.
You don't have a lot of time. Like when you used to be with the games, you sometimes don't have time for the games when you're trying to reach the next level in your life.
Let me tell you something. Oh, it's not rolls down my nose. If I'm creating content out there and I'm making money off of everything I'm trying to, I'm gonna have enough time to where I, if I wanted to be a whore, I go be a whore. I think if you're gonna be in a relationship, do be the best version of yourself for that relationship. That's how I feel about relationships. Like if you're gonna do it, be the best version of yourself. And if you missing something, talk to your partner. It's a lot of understanding. Relationships are hard. That's the problem. Relationships are hard, and most men don't want to put in the work.
So
So
they
for me,
so you should say, "Hey, I'm for the streets. I don't want to buy you anything nice. I don't want to take you to five-star dining. I don't want to rent out a yacht and let you see, the Pacific Ocean or hell, South Beach. I don't want to rent out a yacht and take you on South Beach. I don't want to do those things. Get out of the way because there are people who are looking to rise to the next level. And I just think it's really corny that we're still sitting around talking about Sierra and Russell Wilson because she decided, hey, I'm not gonna wait till I'm 50 to find a man that's decent. Because they're for fun. There are some men are for fun. That's all you're worth. And guess what, men? When you can't have fun with the women, you have no value anymore. Because you're not corny. You don't buy gifts. You don't go buy your girl her master's bag. You don't buy diamond earrings and necklaces and whatever
I don't know if
it
I would
is.
about the master's bag.
You say what?
So I don't know if I would about the master's bag because we break up, bitch. I won't have.
What do you want half of? She don't have to hit your pockets for half for child support because she got her masters.
I bought.
You bought them, so that means she can also tap you for child support. But I would think about it and be like, I got my master's back. I don't really need that child support. I don't really need that child support. Okay, I hear you talking.
I went out on a limb and bought you your shit back. I don't deserve half. A quarter. Give me a quarter. I deserve something off of. I spent money. You profiting off of this? Like, no, hell no. Nobody, hell no.
But it's kids. But it's kids profit off her royalties. Those royalties are now passed down. No. But understand how royalties work. Your kids now have the right to your royalties. Your child. It doesn't matter. That's right. So you created a legacy.
So I created a legacy, and I ain't supposed to make no ends off of that. No, I ain't hustling like that. I bought your shit. You need to give me. I bought your shit. I need something. You give me 5%. You gonna give me something.
You still got some growing to do.
Yeah, nah.
You created a legacy for your kids.
Yeah, and you. So I buy this for you. You go get with you. You go back to Future. You go
that
back
ain't
to Future.
Happening.
Start creating music. I don't. You can you see into the future? Cause I can see some wilder shit. Okay, I can see some wilder shit. All I'm telling you is,
oh my god,
my grandma. Hey,
my
grandma told me keep your eyes open. I trust as far as I can throw you. What my grandma told me. I believe that. If I pay,
make sure you don't buy nothing. Make sure you don't buy nothing because you ain't getting nothing out of the deal.
I got. Hey, if we break up, I need 5%.
What do you get? You get 5% of nothing is nothing. 5% of zero is zero. Moving on.
Letting it be known.
Moving on.
I might decide I want to marry JT. I might get a city girl to turn her life around when I get some money. I'm not gonna do that. Definitely not gonna do that. I don't even like them hoes. But that's not the point. Just using that as a reference.
Well, Mrs. Shaw, I think Channing Crowder is whack for that. So listen, as we close, he said what he said, and I said he whack, and he funny looking. So he need to hope his wife like him for his money at least, because he funny looking. Anyway, and he be by the way, most men in relationships they all be being simps since we want to call people suckers and busters, because y'all be doing stuff that you're gonna tell the homies you don't do. So this LA Laker team, it is playoff time. Playoff berths are being clinched, and word on the street is that the Lakers are going to part ways with Frank Vogel. Is that fair?
No, that organization ain't as good as everybody think it is.
You think it's the organization?
Bro, he should have never had the job.
I agree. I said that.
The Mavs coach, Jason Kidd. I don't know Jason Kidd's middle name. You know, had a situation with his wife about French fries. I still ain't forgave her for that. You arguing about French fries? I can't take no French fries out the bag.
You don't know what else he did that day. Keep going. I mean, I'm just playing devil's advocate.
I know you're playing devil's advocate. It don't matter what else I did. It don't matter what else I.
Yeah, we ain't fighting about no French fries.
Not no French fries. Girl, I'm Jason Kidd. Baby, French fries. Baby, French fries. Come on. I'm Jason Kidd. I can go buy a McDonald's. I know he can. I know he can franchise a McDonald's. Come on, bro. It's just certain things we shouldn't be arguing about, bro. You shouldn't even say nothing. I ate a French fry. Come on. But Frank Vogel should have never had the job in the first place. He's not a good coach, right? And LeBron, and listen, I'm a LeBron fan. I don't know if LeBron likes coaches who gonna tell him what to do. That might be his problem. He might like coaches he can boss around. Tyronn Lue might have been the only coach he couldn't boss around. I seen them say Doc Rivers or the coach from Quinn Snyder. He a Duke product. You know what I'm saying? So I don't. That would be perfect for LeBron Quinn Snyder because he can tell him A, B, C, and D. Doc wouldn't be perfect for Braun because Braun like to do him. So we'll see how that go. But that team, AD, that's the problem. I don't care what nobody say. My partner Donald Stiggins, shout out to King Stiggs. On TikTok was, he put up the clip of the 4-M and whose fault it is. It's not Westbrook's fault. Westbrook was not brought here to be the anchor in the middle and the second best player on the team. What I realized, and guys will eventually have a big platform and people will hear us and be like, dang, they really know what they're talking about. I said Anthony Davis was the problem, and people was like, it's not his fault. He's hurt. He's always hurt. He's always hurt. And they talking because they just watching AD, been here, done that. And he was never hurt in Kentucky. So I don't know if it's how he trains or his mental or he's going better. Like Charles Barkley said, street clothes. They're like, well, he can't help if he's injured. Yes, he can. Because if you're injured all the time, why we talk bad about Greg Oden? And again, Anthony Davis is my favorite basketball player in the world, right? In the world. Like, when you say this is my favorite, like when Vic was pop, Vic, AD. Now, I would never say this about Vic. Dog fighting, I would never talk about Vic because he was putting it on the line. AD don't play. AD one of the 75 greatest basketball players of all time. In the past 2 seasons, has not played 65 games. AD has missed 20 games every season, right? Like, I love him, but we being realistic. The Lakers aren't in the playoffs. The Lakers aren't going to win the championship because of Anthony Davis. And can't nobody sway my opinion.
This is the one thing that I'm going to say about that. It is difficult not to put some of the blame on why the team has fallen apart because the team was built around a LeBron Anthony Davis duo. Okay, I absolutely.
And is LeBron not doing his part?
He's out for the rest of the season too. Now at this point, like, it's over. Yeah, LeBron has more than done his part this season. He's more than done his part. So at this point in his career, in Anthony Davis's career, I'm not really sure what it is that he needs to do or he needs to do differently in order to keep his body together and healthy. Okay? I'm not really sure what it is
he can do.
He needs.
And it's always low his legs. He grew too fast. I don't think his bones caught up with his body.
But you know what happened? When that happens, he's big. Greg Odom is big. What's his name? Number 1 pick. Portland did it before.
Sam Bowie.
Sam Bowie. Like, yeah. So it's extremely difficult when you get to those type of situations. And I hate to blame people's injuries, but the team was built. And that's the reason why we need to build a complete team and not teams based around 1 or 2 people. I think they overloaded.
That's not realistic. It's not realistic. Because you're not going to find the pieces. You've never seen that in the history of sports where you're not front loaded with a squad.
But with Anthony Davis, you knew he was injury prone. It wasn't like the injury report wasn't available for him. There were 5, 6. How many years he been in the league? 7, 6 years.
He won the national championship in 2012. He been in the league 9, 10 years. So they had
injury
7, 8 years.
Injury report. Knees, shins, back,
knees,
whatever,
ankles.
And that's all that I'm
always
saying.
Below the legs. It's always the lower extremity.
Yeah. Like, so whenever you're building a team,
fast.
And whenever you're building,
he went from 6'3" his sophomore year to by the end of his junior year, I think he was 6'7". And then the next year he was 16. He just grew. Right. He went from a nobody to in 2 years. So, and his body at this point is not going to catch up. He get hit the wrong. It is what it is. But when we're looking at the Lakers, you're not there. So let's just say this. There's 25 plus points gone, 10 plus rebounds gone, 2.3 blocks per game, 2 steals per game, and 4 assists. And defense on the rim. Change the whole outlook of my team. Now old Dwight Howard got to come in and give me minutes. Right? Like, so, yeah. Big Anthony Davis fan is not going to change how I feel about AD, but the Lakers If the Lakers not winning, it's on AD. Plain and simple. You are not available. And when people were telling me he's it, bro, we not Greg Oden for being injury prone, right? Greg Oden's big as AD's injury prone. So yes, yes, I can blame you. It's not he didn't want to get injured. I'm not saying he wanted to get injured, but he is.
I
And if
agree.
you are injured, take him away from the team.
I agree. Well, Shawtown Shaw, we gave them a long episode tonight. I don't know. We can get carried away sometimes. This is your girl, Candy K. Lynn.
Your boy Shawtown Shaw.
And you're watching Pull Up the Podcast. You can catch us every week here on Facebook and YouTube. But Mr. Shaw, until next week,
Pull up. We out.
we out.